it seemed appropriate to pair our two Iron Bowl participants back-to-back in our schedule previews for 2023. Welcome to the Voice of College Football. We break down the game we all love each and every day with you. Best discussion, debate, and analysis because of your participation. Please subscribe. Hit that bell for the notifications. Why do you do that? So you know when we go live, which is all over the place, all the time. 10 team live streams specifically on the team channels each and every week, and call-in shows right here on the main channel at the Voice of College Football. Check out the Bama preview. We now look at Auburn in 2023. And, of course, Hugh Freeze will attempt to do what Brian Harsin could not last season. That's win more than he loses and get to postseason play. Auburn should get off to a nice little start against UMass, the 1-11 Minutemen from 2022 on September 2nd. This is the first meeting between the two schools, as it is on September 9th at Cal, when Auburn travels to the West Coast for the first time since, I believe, going to USC for a home-and-home in the Pete Carroll era of the early 2000s. They got whipped both times, and it's Auburn at Cal. The Golden Bears coming off a down 4-8 season. First meeting for these two schools ever. Samford's the win on September 16th, should be. Before we dive into SEC play, at Texas A&M, of course, the Aggies coming off the most disastrous, disappointing debacle in college football in 2022 at 5-7. They do lead the series. Since they joined the SEC, it's 7-6 against Auburn. Then it's the impossible task of Georgia. Well, new quarterback in play, of course, as Stetson Bennett moves on, but the defending undefeated national champions, Georgia, that game on the Plains. Georgia leads the all-time series 63-56. Auburn has not won this game since that 2017 matchup that moved Auburn into the SEC championship game to face Georgia again and then get whacked in the rematch 28-7. Bye week before LSU. Auburn almost pulled off an upset of LSU, and that would have knocked the LSU Tigers out of the SEC championship game, but LSU won at 21-17 this past season en route to an SEC Western Division championship. LSU leads the series 32-24 with one tie. They get together on October 14th. Ole Miss is the opponent the next week. Tigers lead the all-time series 35-11, but they lost this game in 2022 after 6 consecutive wins against Ole Miss. Of course, the Rebels will have an interesting quarterback situation. Take a pick on who's going to be the starting quarterback for the Rebels. Spencer Sanders, Jackson Dart. They've also picked up Walker Howard from LSU. Rebels finished at 8-5, 4 disappointing losses to conclude the season, including a Texas Bowl loss to Texas Tech. Auburn stays with the Mississippi schools and taking on the Bulldogs on October 28th at home. Mike Leach's team went 9-4. May he rest in peace. 65-29 is the all-time series in Auburn's favor, though they've lost the last 2. Will Rogers back at quarterback for Mississippi State. Then a bit of a light touch as Auburn's other non-division opponent is Vanderbilt, although the Commodores showed that they're competent late last season under Clark Lee, defeating Florida. And they also defeated, off the top of my head, Kentucky. Yes, 2 SEC wins for the Commodores that game in Nashville. I was surprised to see the all-time series here at 21-21, but of course, Vandy and Auburn, much different programs decades ago. Auburn leads the series 14-2 since 1978. They last met in 2016. Then it's Auburn at Arkansas. Tigers lead the all-time series 19-12. Of course, the Hogs joined the SEC in 1992, coming off a 7-6 season. KJ Jefferson back at quarterback, and he led the Hogs to a Liberty Bowl victory over Kansas. Then it's the obligatory step out of conference play the lightweight, but the lightweight not quite as much of a lightweight as, like, for example, rival Auburn gets with the Moccasins. It's New Mexico State, a team that won a bowl game, finished 7-6, beat Bowling Green. And these schools have actually met 3 times, Auburn winning all 3 in 1993, 07, and in 12. Then it is the Iron Bowl against Bama, 11-2 season last year. Auburn trails the all-time series 49-37. They lost by 22 last season. 4 wins for Auburn against Bama since 2010. when we look at the strength of schedule, the non-conference play is simple, easy. Should be 4 wins for Auburn. The combined FBS record for those 3 out of 4 opponents, taking Samford out of the mix, 12-25 for Auburn. Now, when they step into SEC play, Power 5 play, their combined opponents' records in 2022, 82-60, and the Power 5 team, 74-43 overall. So, strong, always a strong schedule for Auburn because they play in what has always been, maybe not now with the SEC East rising, toughest division in college football. And then on top of it, they've always got to play Georgia. And then fill in the blank, Kentucky, Tennessee, whomever they've got to play in the SEC Eastern Division this year, it's Vandy. But the light out-of-conference schedule will probably knock Auburn down the list in terms of strength of schedule. We've done that in the past here at the Voice of College Football, where we have ranked all 65 Power 5 schedules 1 through 65 in terms of schedule strength. We've done that in the past. Let us know if you would like us to do that in the future. Of course, it needs to pay off. But right now, it's the schedule previews right here at the Voice of College Football. Check out Bama, Auburn. We have posted Notre Dame as well and others right here at the Voice of College Football.